Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the T120 Triumph. My name's Richard. Let's talk about what it's been like to have the bike for 4,000 miles and for about 12-13 weeks now. So she's only 13 weeks old or something like that. But let's talk about what she's been like and what regret I've got. Let's go for a ride. Okay, let's go for a ride. So if you're thinking about buying a T120, be that brand new or second hand, now the sun in the UK has come out. It's the end of July here. This video may well give you a bit of an inspiration of whether to buy one or not. Here we go. So I've had this for 4,000 miles. Just over 4,000 miles, 4,020 miles, give them away. There we are. Visor down. You should be able to hear me a bit better now. And she's about 13 weeks old. And I've taken her over those 4,000 miles. I did the running period, had her serviced for a first run-in. Was that 1,000 miles or 600 miles or something like that? And then I ended up taking her over to Europe, over to Austria, Czech Republic, everywhere like that, and did a 2,700 mile ride over 12 days. And she's been absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I wasn't too sure about how she would tour. I wasn't sure how the saddle would feel. Was the saddle too soft? Saddle too hard? Was it the wrong shape? But actually, I found the seat, the standard seat on this bike, very, very comfortable. It's no worse, you know, obviously you get sore, but it's no worse than the Triumph Tiger 900 that I used to have, which was a great bike. Its economy is unbelievably super. At one stage I calculated out that the bike had done 72 miles to the gallon. And generally speaking, it did between 65 and 70 miles to the gallon whilst I was riding over. That's a UK gallon as well, a UK gallon, so that's 4.55 litres. So, you know, while I was riding all over, up and down the Alps in Austria and all that kind of thing, it was averaging between 65 and 70 miles per gallon. And the suspension is wonderful on the front, the suspension is wonderful on the back. And it was very easy to ride. I will inform you that I did use a screen offered from Scott for that journey, which took away the wind blast because it's obviously a naked bike. But I did put Scott's screen on, and that worked really, really well. It took the pressure off my chest, my head, etc., etc., and made the journey over to Austria and back a little more comfortable, shall we say, rather than as a naked bike. You'll notice that I've got the Carpia ride on here. I didn't take the Carpia ride to Austria. I wish I had it at the time, but I didn't have it, which is a sad thing. But you can see I'm using it now. I'm off over to a place called Ashley in Staffordshire, which is not too far from Stoke-on-Trent, to meet Andy, who also has a T120. The tyres have been great. Pushing it down into the corners does not seem to be a problem. So if you're looking for something that's a bit sporty in the corners, this is okay. You know, it's not the best. It's not an R1 or an R6 or a GSXR. It's not that. Of course it's not that. It's a classic bike. It's a classic style bike. What is my only regret? Well, let's put some context behind this. Let's just tackle this roundabout. What is my only regret? So, normally bikes can be quite transient. We buy a bike a year later, maybe 2 years later, we then sell it and get another bike, and then we do exactly the same a year or two later. They're quite transient under normal circumstances. For some of us that are lucky enough to be able to do that. But the economy in the UK and the Western world is taking a bit of a shake at the moment, so I suspect that the amount of transiency, is that the word, will reduce. So instead of keeping your bike for a year or two, you might keep your bike for 3 years, maybe 4 years. So you need to think about a bike that will last you for 3 or 4 years. And that's where the T120 comes into play. Now, this is going to be a long-termer. This is my bike, and I paid for it, and I shall be keeping it for quite a while now, until a few things change around me in the UK. Unless something drastic happens, yeah? So I will be keeping this bike for a good few years, and we'll be riding it and taking it abroad, and you're going to come and join me. But going back to the point of regret, and the final point of regret is, before I get to that, is when you're selecting a bike, you should, common sense tells you that you should select the bike that satisfies 95% of what you are going to do on that bike. So going to the shops, going to work and back, commuting, going out for a ride on a Sunday, going out for a ride in the evenings when it's nice and warm like it is at the moment. Maybe an odd tour up to Scotland. I live in the Midlands. Maybe an odd tour up to Scotland on the NC 500. Maybe an odd tour if you're lucky enough to go over to Europe. And those tours are exceptional, and they fall into the 5%, not the 95%. This is just my opinion. This is my way of thinking, and this is why the T120 is absolutely brilliant. It's a great town bike, a great Friday night bike or Sunday bimble bike. It's satisfied my needs for touring and proven that, and I was a bit concerned about it, I will admit. I wasn't too sure how that would go, and proven that with the ride out to Austria. I was at no disadvantage going to Austria compared to the Triumph 900 Tiger that I used to have. None at all. In fact, it was even easier on this because the bike is much smaller and I can handle it much better. Someone's coming up behind me. So, let's get back to regret. Taking into account those 2 points, 95% of the time, what am I riding the bike for? And potential changes in the economy. understanding it's July 2024 in the UK. My only regret is that I didn't buy this bike earlier. I know I've had a play around with the T120s in Tenerife, with Tenerife on Triumph. Get in touch with Adam. But now I've bought it, my only regret is that I haven't had it for such a longer period. I didn't realise how good this bike was. Now, starting prices of these are about £12,000. That's for a brand new one. You can pick one up, I'm sure, in the economy now. There we go. For about £5,500 upwards. And there are many garage queens where you'll find that maybe they're 4 years old and got 2,000 miles on them, or 3,000 miles. So you can do that. Got a few bikes behind me, but because I'm recording, I'm going to be taking it easy. It is a beautiful Sunday, and it's about 10:30 in the morning. That's my thoughts at 4,000 miles on the Triumph T120. My only regret is that I haven't had it longer. I should have bought one of these years ago, because they are really fantastic. If this is the kind of bike and the kind of riding you want. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Put comments below. What's your thoughts if you own a T120? Are you thinking about buying a T120? Have you got a T120 on order and you're just waiting for it to come? Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you excited? Did you have a bad time with her? Tell me what your thoughts are. Ride safely, be kind to everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, like if you like the video, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.